Alright, so today we're going to just do a virtual tour of the classroom so you can see what it's all like. And then in the upcoming weeks you will see each individual learning center and how we do the centers specifically. So what we're going to start with is we're just going to go through the day as we come in. So the kids come in through this store and then they put their things away in the cubbies. And we actually, as you can see, we saved some space by putting cardboard up here. We used to have a whole extra set of mailboxes and we just needed space. Doesn't look pretty, but it is very functional, so the kids each have their own box, and then they put their coats and backpacks here. And then following that, one side of this is morning and one side is afternoon, so we just flip it so the kids know which side they need to work from. And what they do is they take chalk and they draw a line from their picture to their job, and they each have a rival job. And I'll go through those in a later post. But what they are is one of them dresses a welcome bear, one of them does weather, one of them gets our snack water ready, one of them waters a plant, feeds a fish, does the attendance helping, and they just do those jobs right as they walk into the classroom. And then following that, they come over here and they get to look at see what centers are options to play at, because we do 20 minutes of free play when they come in. That's new to our program. We decided to do that. It used to be we played at the end of the day, but we felt like the kids really, when they came in, they just wanted to socialize and interact with the peers and the staff. So we decided to change that up, and we really like that system of they get to see what centers are open, and if a center's not open, there's just a big red no sign over it, and then they take their picture and they take it to a different center over here. So then they would take it to, if they want to play at sensory, they would just put their picture here, or if they want to play at the iPad, they would put it here. As you can see, there's a visual over the iPad one, because we want the kids, if they were at the sensory table, they have to wash their hands before they can put their picture there. And there's even one at the sink, so their picture can physically be put on, wash hands, and then they can go to the iPad. And then other center options are the art center, which, if you notice, all the centers have a color. So this center is orange with the orange flower in the middle of the table, and iPad is purple. Sensory behind you is brown. And then all the different centers have a color so that the kids, when they go through learning rotations, can look on their schedule at their color and know where to go. When they're at the art orange center, this gets flipped back and they can choose art materials. And we also on the side have a functional board, which I've talked about in previous blogs, just that shows exactly what options they have, and so they can communicate. I want crayons today, or I want to play Play-Doh today. And the nice thing about having it in one of these sleeves is that I can dry erase over the things that aren't options for the day. If Play-Doh is not an option, I can just use a dry erase marker and mark over it for the day. So that's one of the center options. And then if you flip over here, the yellow center option is library books. And I haven't put the books in for this week yet, but they have the option of any of the books on the shelf. They can pull out blankets and pillows, and they can play on the rug here for library center. That's during free play. And then when they come over here at rotation time, when we're doing learning rotations and they're with a staff person, we have 3 different boxes here, and that tells the staff and the child what box each child's level is. So up here I have initials for the staff to know, okay, LB needs to do box 1, and then they're going to take library books back to the actual library as a functional task. Or MT is going to do boxes 1 and 2. EG, SS, and BB are going to do 2 and 3, and they're a group together, so they do those together. And then another option, which isn't one of our learning rotations, but is an option during free play, is just playing in the house center. You can see we have the option of 3 kids to play here, and they can just play in here at free play. And we changed this out this coming week. It's going to be the birthday center, which you'll hear in upcoming posts what that looks like. Last week it was just the house center, and sometimes it's dentist or other things too. So that's this center. And then over here we have a social area, which is new to our classroom this year. This is the red center, and kids don't have the option of coming here during free play. They only come here as part of a learning rotation. And what it is the teacher just flaps this back, and then they can see exactly what boxes, based on the numbers up here again, what activities those children need to work on. And what they're doing is working on turn taking, working on different functional play skills to learn how to play, because some of them aren't at a level that they know how to play. So the boxes just have different things. For example, in box number 4, we're learning about transportation right now. So there's a sorting and graphing task with different little erasers of different colors and different types of vehicles. Where that's a little higher skill, box number 1 is simply matching the puzzle pieces for the transportation. Or box number, let's do box number 3. They're learning about their friends, and we actually take these sticks because they didn't fit in the box. And we simply just talk about who's in our class, and we put them in on the bus. And we have different flashcards that say put a boy in, put a girl in, to work on some gender roles as well. So that's what goes on at the Social Center, and we'll get into that more as we talk about the specific centers and specific areas in upcoming blogs. And this is large group area, and large group area serves a dual purpose. It serves for the block play area at Free Play, so there's just blocks under here, and these types of things are only out, and they're covered up when it is circle time, so the kids don't get into it. Circle only out during Free Play. And then on this side, up behind here, I just have teacher material, so it says Stop for Teachers. And what's under there is CDs, bean bags, bubbles, just things that we use at large group. Especially most of the things in here are just to fill time if we have extra time that we need to do some things with. Because typically we have 3 large groups. The first one is run with the Smartboard. It's just like a morning calendar, traditional morning calendar, and we'll get into that in future blogs as well. And that one is in the green drawer, because we do 3 small groups. So the first small group is in the green drawer, then we come back for a second small group, and it's in the yellow drawer, and then the red drawer for Stop is going home, our last large group of the day. And then up here we just have all of the schedules, so the kids know exactly what they're doing for the day, and they're all dry erase, and they're all magnets, so I can take the visuals down and move them around if things are changing for field trips and special events. And then below that just shows the kids what groupings they're in for the day. Okay, and let's see. Oh, this is a new feature that I was going to share with you. These are our buddies that help us, since we are the Buddy Bears. These little buddies, they help us throughout large group. One of them lights up, and so the kids work on attention to task. One of them is a vibrating bear if a kid needs something to hold on to. And then others of them have voice automated things, and then there's a heartbeat bear as well for calming. So they're velcroed up there, and I can just take them down and hand them to a kid, or we can play a passing around the room kind of thing. One more center, and then, 2 more centers. Over here, this is not open during Free Play, but this is our independent work area. Everyone has a task box that they have to do, and they just sit in the chair and do it independently, and then they put it in the All Done, just like you would see in structured teaching. What we've done with that is, because their tasks are quite short, we have them sit for at least 2, possibly 5, depending on their level, and they just have to learn in-seat desk behavior. So they can either choose crayons and the clipboard, or they can choose the notebook to write in after they're done. And then following that, they rotate to the iPad Center, and they switch with their peers. And something over here that we'll get into in further blogs as well is just some of our errands. A lot of our kids need to take a break, and so we just have different sensory things. They can put this on their back, it's weighted, and they can deliver something to another classroom. They can put something in here to deliver it to a classroom, or possibly they can roll this with it's weighted as well, so that they can roll that to another classroom just to get a little break. Or they can take shredding down for us. And these are our mailboxes for the teachers. Sometimes they have to go check mail and then deliver all of the mail to the teachers in our classroom. They'll get the mail from the office and bring it down to these mailboxes. And then one more center that we're not going to cover a lot today, but I'm just going to show you, is the Direct Instruction Center. And this is where I do the most of my focusing on goals. And we'll get into that a little bit later in future blogs. But what we typically do is our learning rotations run about 15 minutes, and they have 3 kids per rotation. And so I'll have 2 kids working on things here while I work on with 1 kid here. And that depends on the child's level. Sometimes I'll work with 1 child for the whole 15 minutes in a specific group, and the other 2, then I'll get to those the next 2 days of the week. Where other kids, they may not have a 15-minute span to do that with, and so it'll be 5, 5, and 5. So it just depends, and we'll get into that later. But here's the task boxes that the kids work on, and then there's a chart back here that tells me what kid does what task box when they're over here working with me. So that was a quick rundown of our classroom. We'll get into future things later, but I hope you enjoyed a virtual tour. See you next time.